Well, here we are against Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. Earlier this week I did an excerpt on why we cursed some of the curses that were 21 curses were listed in America, and then God put 15 more curses on top of those curses. God gave us a list in chapter 28 of blessings for those who will follow God and do follow God. And then he said, if you don't follow me, he reversed the list that he gave us on the blessings and added 15 cursings. I would like to read those cursings and see if you do not believe that this fits today in the United States of America. The last excerpt that I did a few minutes ago, I talked about this thing scaling down. The size. Friend, go buy a 5-pound bag of sugar. I dare you. Go out today and try to buy a 5-pound bag of sugar. They have scaled the 5-pound bag of sugar to 4 pounds and kept the price the same. Matter of fact, they've upped the price. The price is higher now for a 4-pound bag of sugar than it was a year ago for a 5-pound bag. Now they've depleted 5-pound bags of sugar and gone to 4 pounds. They're using a different granulate or a cheaper sugar too. Now you're buying a cheaper sugar for more money and less poundage. Now, you're going to find it that way with Campbell's soup. You're going to find it that way with a chocolate bar, a Hershey bar, or a peanut butter cup. You're going to find that way with a pack of gum. For years, I've carried gum to church and gave gum away. Actually, the truth of the matter is right now, if I had a 5-year-old pack of gum in my closet, which I wished I did, but I don't, and I laid it beside the pack of gum I have right now, today, I would find the weight 1/2. I would find the gum 1/2. 1/2 the size of what it was. And not as good either, by the way. They taken out of it, all that they could take out of it, they've taken out of it to make it not as good. And they claim they've done better because they make it now where it won't stick to false teeth and that kind of stuff. And yet, what they've really done is ruined it. And it's that way with everything. It used to be, we used to go get a piece of licorice when I was a kid. It'd be bigger than $50 and have a red bean in the middle of it. And penny. So I actually, if I'm not mistaken, we used to get 2 of them things for a penny originally, back in 45, 46. And now, if you went with a penny to a store to buy a piece of candy, they'd laugh at you. A 10-cent piece of candy now will barely make what we bought for a penny a few years back. So our nation now is going from blessing to cursing. We have so many hundred every month now. Every month now we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of church doors closing across the nation. Preachers leaving the pulpits, church doors closing their doors and turning them into places that sell grain and hay and restaurants and every other thing, and taking the steeples off them and selling the steeple and making something out of the building. And so we got churches closing, multiple churches closing daily now across the nation. We have people leaving the Christendom, leaving Christianity. They don't want to put up with being called the left wing. And by the way, we are not the problem in the United States of America. I am one of those Christians that would and may have to stand up and be shot one day because I will not deny the Lord Jesus Christ. But let me tell you this, we are not the problem. We are not the problem. The problem is the devil's a lie and the father of lies, and the problem is what the devil is doing in the world today, and people are allowing him to do it. I'm surprised you can buy a full-size American flag anymore. I guarantee you have to pay double for it. But I'm surprised you can buy a full-size anything anymore because everything is being scaled down. It's amazing. Here we are, though, back in the book. Let's get back in the book where we belong. Chapter 28, Proverbs. It says, but, the word but, that's a big but, the first word in verse 15. It shall come to pass, if thou wilt not follow or hearken unto the voice of the Lord God of heaven, the one that created the heavens and the earth, to observe his commandments for living on this earth, for living a godly life, and his statutes, which I, God, command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. We are being overtaken today by the curses that we are bringing on ourselves. All the curses that are coming about today are coming about on... I live in Georgia, little small state compared to big country, and we raise peanuts here. We had a peanut blight a few years ago. We raised soybeans here. We had a soybean blight. I was in Ohio last year. Last year they had soybeans underwater. They had soybeans that got a fungus on them and they were gone for the most part. They had to plow them under and they lost millions. I talked with a waitress. She said, I'm a waitress because we were raising soybeans. She said, we own a... She told me how many thousands of acres, how many $100,000 they owe on their tractors and everything. And she was waitressing. She said, I'm waitressing to stay alive so we can eat. She was over there waitressing in a restaurant so that her family could eat, that owned thousands of acres of soybeans that were underwater. Hey, we are under a curse. Verse 16, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. We're being cursed in the field. The very rain that was the early rain, the middle rain, and the latter rain is coming at the wrong time. You send the rain at the wrong time and you kill the crop. If you can get the crop out of the ground. You got to have a certain rain to get the crop out of the ground. And then you got to have a rain to come at a certain time just before you till the crop. You lay your hay down in the field and it rained for 6 days, you're in trouble. You can throw that hay away because it's going to mold and musty and mildew and it's not fit to eat and it's no good for the animal. So everything has got to be according to its sequence. And who's in charge of the sequence? God's in charge of the sequence. And if he doesn't make the sequence be right, then the rest of it's not going to be right. Verse 17, cursed shalt thou be in the basket and in thy store. Man, if we don't see that, go to the grocery store today with your little check. Let's just say you work at one of these places that make sure that you can't draw enough money so that you have to get food stamps like McDonald's or over there at Walmart. You work for Walmart, they're going to guarantee you, they're going to make sure that you're eligible for food stamps and welfare and Mother's Aid and Father's Aid and everything else. They're not going to pay you enough. They're not going to hire you full time. They're going to use you through temp service for as many years as they can. They're not going to do good for you. And neither are the rest of the big stores just about today. Everybody's going to temp service where they don't have to meet the criteria for you being able to live comfortable. So anyway, this is where we are. We're cursed in the storefront. We're cursed from the people that own the store. We're cursed from the store basket when you go buy it because of the size of it and it's double the money it was. And they say, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land and the increase of thy kind and the flock of the sheep. Wow. Cursed are our children. Our children are what is from us, the kind from us. And they're cursed today. Our children are cursed to live in a nation today where they fall into what's on the television. Wow, open sex. Everything you look at is nothing but sex and drugs and beer and alcohol. And they play it all up to be proper and to be good. And they say, I heard a man saying, there was a counselor a little while ago, a girl in the 15-year-old girl, 14, 15-year-old girl asked him, she said, if I don't have sex with the boys, they're going to think something's wrong with me. And if I don't go out and do this or that the way of the world, they're going to think something's wrong with me. And so, in other words, they're teaching it's right for you to go out. They're teaching you in school those things that are wrong. All right, verse 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. That's your children are going to be cursed in the land. And the increase of the land, your flocks and your sheep, your animals are going to be sickly. What have we got? Mad cow disease. What are the diseases we have today? Chicken diseases, all kinds of things that are out there today can kill out a crop and kill off all the cows in just a little bit. We have a curse on the land of the United States of America. We are brought on because we have gone away from God. Listen to this, verse 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Man, is that not today? A man comes home from work and he's cursed at home. He goes to work and he's cursed at work. How many people today actually really have a job that they can say they do love and they don't mind going there, like a farmer going out in the field and working all day long for himself, by himself, hard from daylight to dark, and being happy as a lark, and being blessed when he comes in the house and blessed when he gets up in the morning and goes out. It's the opposite today. Cursed is that man today when he gets up and goes out. Verse 20, it said, the Lord shall send upon cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest in thine hand unto you, for until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Because we have forsaken God, took him out of everything, took his in God we trust off the money, we took in God we trust, we tried to kick the 10 Commandments out of the everywhere we can. We took God out of the school, took prayer out of the school, took the Bible out of the school. And you know what's funny today? The very young people I'm working with today in my Sunday school class have got to learn about the Quran, they've got to learn about Mohammed, they got to learn about Hinduism, they got to learn everything but Christianity. They're not allowed to learn Christianity in the United States of America in the schoolhouse, and they're allowed to learn every other heathen religion. They have false gods, a small G-O-D with an apostrophe S behind it. Gods, not just one God. Their gods are dead gods. They do not nary one of them. I got it right here in this book, read it this very day, about all the religions of the world, and all their gods are dead. Every last one of them are dead. I serve a risen God, one that went to the grave and walked through hell, took the keys of death and hell away from the devil, and is alive today and serves, and it is me. And if you're a Christian, he's in you. And if you're not a Christian, you're serving one of them false gods, and you will die, and you will go to hell, and you will live for eternity in hellfire, where the worm dieth not, and the soul is not quenched, and you will desire a drink of water, and you will not be able to get one forever. Not just today and tomorrow and next day, but forever. Forever is forever. I must go now. We will see you next